Hey, hope you're having a great day. Wanted to make another video with some tips for mortgage brokers, mainly commercial mortgage brokers, but could be residential mortgage brokers too. The truth is, it's really anyone in sales. We find as portfolio lenders that a lot of brokers, frankly, don't invest the time that they should to submit the deals in a proper way. So a couple things I've learned over my past 30 something years being in the business, initially as a broker and a lender. And the first thing is, or before I get to the first thing is, in sales, we get tons of emails, and I'm always amazed by some people don't have their contact, their phone numbers on their emails. So something very basic, put your phone number on your email so people can communicate with you. Okay, forget that. The next thing is when you're sitting and submitting a deal to a lender or to an underwriter, make sure you're submitting complete information. The more work you do, the better the chances of the deal being approved. Take the time to learn about the deal, learn about the borrower's motivation, learn about the collateral, learn everything you can, and then transmit everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, the smelly, the beautiful, to the lender or the underwriter, and lay it out in a fashion that they could understand it easily and it flows. The reality is if you want to be successful, the more work you do upfront and the more you invest your time and energy in a deal, the greater the likelihood of the deal going through. Now, there's a lot of other things too. Don't send a construction loan to a lender who doesn't do construction, or don't send a loan for $100 million to a lender who does $1 to $3 million loans. So you have to understand the lender and the borrower, the lender and the lender's guidelines. So make sure you as a mortgage broker understand the lender's guidelines. But once you understand the lender's guidelines, if you submit a complete deal with all the information, debt service coverage, rental income, whatever it is, the more likely it's going to be approved. The reality is mortgage brokers, by and large, are paid on commission and paid at success, not not for wasting time. So you want to be successful, and the more information and the clearer and fuller picture you can give a lender or an underwriter, the more likely you're going to be successful. Because oftentimes, and I can tell you both, I started as a loan officer and I'm in sales, and that's what I do. I'm in sales all day long. I'm pushing deals and going over deals. And I learned that the more complete picture that I give someone about anything, and this is true in life, anything, the more complete picture, the good, the bad, the ugly, the easier it is for them to say yes. And again, sometimes mortgage brokers throw stuff out there just to save time. And I don't want to be critical of mortgage brokers, but it's not all, but the people who throw stuff out there really aren't doing themselves or their clients a justice. Just like any profession, you need to take the time to learn a deal and to present it in the correct format. And that's a large portion of what you do. You're a professional. Mortgage brokers and mortgage bankers are a professional, just like a doctor, a lawyer, or anything, a radiologist. You need to take the time to learn, and you need to take the time to present it. Imagine if a lawyer went into court, excuse me. I apologize, I just had some peanuts before I did this, probably a mistake. Imagine if a lawyer went into court for a trial and he did no prep. He didn't review the information. His client sent him the information, he printed it out and he gave it to the judge or the prosecutor. What would happen? It would be a disaster. So all I'm saying is mortgage brokers, take the time to learn, take the time to understand, and take the time to put it in the proper format. Don't be afraid to waste time, because when you invest that time, you're going to get the best yield you can. And you're better off investing that time because it's just going to increase your likelihood. And what do I mean? Understand the borrower's situation. If it's a refi, if it's a purchase, why is he looking to refi? Whatever the situation is he in default? Have they made all their payments on time? Is a rate and term? Is it cash out? What are they doing with the cash out? You know, really get into the borrower's motivation for the reason for, is it a need or is it a want? Same with a purchase. Why are they purchasing it? Then get into the property and understand the income, the expenses, all of the relevant things about the property, the location, everything relevant. You know, we often see someone will send us over some information, and frankly, the information's half baked. They'll say, okay, you know, the income's $5 grand a month, and we'll say, what are the expenses? They say, there's no expenses. And we say, of course, there's expenses. You know, there's always taxes, there's always insurance, and there's vacancy, there's repairs. Take the time to learn it and to present it that way. Don't just give a lender or an underwriter what the borrower gave you. What I would do if I was a broker is come up with your own Excel format. And by the way, you could use our Excel format. We have one under our submission form. Put your logo on it. We purposely send it in Excel, not hard-coded, to make it easier for brokers to put their information on it. And there's different tabs, and complete all of the tabs. And by doing that, you'll present a clearer picture of the deal for you to understand, so you don't waste your time on something that's not going to go. The reality is, in this business, a lot of deals don't close. You're spending your good, hard-earned time on that deal. And to a certain degree, your job is to handicap a deal. You know, within the first 30 seconds of you speaking to a borrower, you should be able to say, okay, I think I can close it, or I think I can close it. Is it worth my time spending on this deal, or is it not worth my time spending on this deal? And if it's not, you just may want to politely tell the borrower, thank you very much, but you don't think you're the person for this. You just don't want to waste your time on it because you don't think it's going to close. If you think it's going to close, then you want to make it the best chance. If you're committed, you want to give the best chance of it closing again. So the borrower gets what they want, a closing. You get what you want, the loan closing and your fee. And self-understood, a lender gets a good, solid loan. So invest the time to really dig in, because frankly, I see, and I feel bad. I don't want this to come off on that I'm bashing brokers. That's not my purpose. My purpose is to educate brokers and to instill in them that they're a professional. And if they really want a deal to close and really want to be successful, they have to invest time and energy, and not just being a paper pusher to push emails back and forth. What I would also do, and I realize, I apologize, I'm going off on a tangent on this. I'm sorry, it's just whatever. What I would also do is, when you first get a deal, don't rush the borrower off the phone. Spend 10 minutes, 20 minutes, a half hour, an hour, again, as I said, with the borrower to really dig in. The borrower will respect it. They want to give you that information, and it'll help you do a better job presenting it. A couple other things that I could think of very quick, and I promise I'll end this quickly. You're probably sick of me, and I apologize. Oh, I forgot to say, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm supposed to tell you in the beginning, but I forgot. A couple other things is, look, we live in a world of imperfections, and we all have pimples on our face and other parts of our lives, and we all have histories, some good and some bad. Don't try to cover over the bad to an underwriter or lender. I would get the bad out upfront right away, because the lender's going to find out anyway, and it's better to deal with it upfront rather than the back end, when one, you're wasting and you're spending your time, the borrower's hopes are set and their expectations are set, and the lender's spending their time on it. You know, and you lose credibility. And this happens all the time, where brokers and borrowers are, I think, hesitant to tell lenders the whole story or the bad. We would rather, and we're a portfolio lender, we're not selling our loans to the secondary market or Wall Street, or, you know, we're a private lender. So we get it all. But it's much better if you get out the bad news or the problems up front, whatever they are. whether it be vacancy, the tenant's not paying, bankruptcy, whatever they are, divorce, get it out up front and let all the parties know. Look, sometimes a deal will die, and I sometimes get the feelings that brokers and borrowers hide the full picture because look, you go out on a first date and you don't want to say I have a gas problem or I belch or I'm smelly or whatever. It's not exciting. But in this business, I've just learned it's better to start with almost the bad and let the good follow, because if not, it's going to catch up with you and you'll have problems. So again, the purpose of this video is be professional, invest the time to learn the deal, put together the debt service coverage. I happened to speak to a broker yesterday, nothing wrong with it, really nice guy, sort of a work friend. He sends us a deal and we asked him, he says, well, you guys put it together. Fine, we did, but it's not really professional when you do that. When you send over a deal to a lender, send over a complete deal. Put over a debt service coverage, put over all the income, the expenses. If it's a value add deal, that's fine. Do projections. Spend the time to put together a detailed package for the lenders. When you do that, you will increase your income dramatically. Whatever I know 10x is the big word right now for the past couple of years. You're going to 10x your income. I'm not such a big fan of the word 10x, but you're going to 10x your income if you spend the time to get to know the deal, to get to know the borrower, to get to know the lender as well. Another thing, I keep going on, is what I would do is if I was a mortgage broker, and if you have 5 lenders or 10 lenders or whatever lenders that you work with, I would have an initial call with them, their underwriter, whoever you can, and suck their knowledge out. Learn from them. What kind of deals? I would say, what kind of deals do you want? What kind of deals don't you want? Learn their sweet spots and learn their trigger points. And you'll have an idea rather than just shoot stuff out to 10 lenders. Because when you do that, you're wasting your time and you're losing credibility. I would also constantly speak to lenders because things are changing all the time, especially in this environment. It's always a reason. Right now, making this January of 23, and the interest rates are increasing, the property values are decreasing, so the market's always changing. But the reality is the market's always changing, whether it be in 23, 22, 21. I started in this 35, 37 years ago. Every year the market's changing. So what I would do is I would speak to your lenders once a month, once every other month. Speak to them for 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Hey, what are you guys seeing in the marketplace? What kind of deals are you doing today? What aren't you doing today? Because what they were doing 6 months ago and what they were doing today could be two different things. Their pricing could change. They could go from an expensive lender to an inexpensive lender. There's all these variables. So really the common theme that I'm saying here is take the time, invest the time. It's going to be your best investment. Invest the time to learn and to package deals correctly and to prepare as best you can. Set yourself up for success. And the borrower, remember, you're working on behalf of the borrower. Set yourself and set the borrower up for success, not for failure or mediocrity. And the more you put in, the more you'll get back. That I can tell you. And that I'm 100% sure. The more time you put in and the more effort and the more energy and the more knowledge you accumulate, you will do better. So don't look to take shortcuts. Again, I feel like I'm beating up on brokers. That's not my purpose. 90% of the brokers are fantastic out there, but I do see a lot of new brokers coming in the industry, always coming in the industry. And I see them making the same mistake. So I'm really making it for those brokers to do that. Anyway, we are a selfish plug, as you can see by the sign in the background. We're Gelt Financial. We're private, non-bank lenders. We do loans and JV equity from 100,000 to 3 million. We do bigger. We just closed a deal a couple weeks ago for 4.6 million, but we're not doing the real big stuff. We're generally private portfolio collateral-based lenders, we're really not focused on the borrower's credit or the borrower that much. We're really focused on the property, hyper-focused on the property, which allows us to do a lot of things. We generally don't do appraisals. Loans are closing literally within days or a week. We say we're the home of the 10-day lender, and it's probably less than that. But we love to work with you, and we self-understood love working with mortgage brokers. We love mortgage brokers. I started out in the residential mortgage business when I was very young. Now I'm old, about 40 years ago, and it's been fantastic. And I love everyone in the mortgage business. It's a great breed of people. And I want to help them, and I'm really making this to help them. Anyway, subscribe to our channel, leave comments, questions, and we'll be answer them. And if you found this helpful, we make periodic videos that we post on different tips. Some of them are much more extensive and not off the cuff. And I didn't mean to offend any mortgage broker. I apologize if I did. That's not my purpose. My purpose is to help you and elevate you and help you make more money. Thank you and have a fantastic day. And check us out at geltfinancial.com.